From heavy rain to heavy snow.
Very low visibility.
Winter decides to make a quick comeback to Colorado, creating some slick roads and bringing in the chills.
And I actually just came from Alaska, and this is colder than it was up there.
High schools across the state scramble to bring graduation ceremonies indoors.
I graduated in Colorado in a snowstorm. I can say that my whole life now.
As others make the most of the spring storm.
Graduates, you may now turn your tassels from the right to the left.
It's definitely a memorable experience.
That it is. Listen, if you're new to Colorado, welcome to Winter in May. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Brian Wang. First tonight, we're starting to see crashes in the mountains. Westbound I-70 is closed at Vail Pass due to cars sliding off the road and a jackknife semi-truck. Right now, there's no estimated time of when the road will reopen.
And we're also seeing the typical snow delays and cancellations out at the airport and some small scattered power outages. Thankfully, it has been relatively calm throughout the Denver metro. Of course, the snowfall rates are only going to increase as the night goes on.
All right, we've got team coverage on this Weather Action Day across Colorado, but first let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson.
And Mike, you told us snow was coming, and yeah, there's plenty of it out there.
It's cold, it's wet, it's nasty, but the moisture will come in really handy, especially with all the fire danger we've put up with. This is the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, where the snow's kind of been on and off throughout the last couple of hours. Temperatures are definitely off from the last 24 hours. It's 33 currently at Denver, 26 up at Leadville, and the temperature contrast from 24 hours ago, it's 47 degrees colder right now than it was this time yesterday, 52 degrees colder at Colorado Springs, and 51 degrees colder at Lyman and Fort Collins. So it's been quite a fall from this cold front, which is just about pushed through the entire state. The bands of snow coming in behind it, some rain at lower elevations. We have a lot of warnings in effect, but interestingly, still a fire weather warning southwest corner where they're not getting any moisture. Winter storm warning for the Denver, freeze warning out on the eastern plains and the northwest plateau. Winter weather advisories for the mountains along and west of the Continental Divide, and that will go until noon tomorrow for all of these. As far as the snowfall, you can see some of the darker colors here. There's a pretty good one right now over downtown Denver. And so that's what we'll see for the next 6 to 12 hours. Bands of heavier snow gradually moving from north to south, and it'll lighten up across the northern sections of the state. So our headlines: heavy snow overnight in many areas, freezing temperatures right around the 30 mark. And after that, we get a wet and chilly weekend, even into early next week. It'll be slow to warm up in the last few days of May coming up next week. So I'll have details on that in just a bit. But for more on what's like outside on the south side, let's go to CB Cotton.
Hey Mike, great to hear from you. Here down south, it's been the story of on and off conditions throughout the evening. Right now, there's not too much precipitation coming down, and because of that, in turn here on I-25, you've got a great view from where we're standing. We're watching drivers go a little bit faster, but you're still encouraged to take it slow where you can because there could be some slick spots. Earlier today, around 2:30 this afternoon, it was coming down heavy, and we could hardly see as we traveled on I-25 from Denver to Castle Pines. It was near whiteout conditions, and my photographer, he actually had to put on a pair of polarized glasses to fight the glare as the snow was coming down. We chatted with a few drivers who came out for last-minute errands, and they all said when the snow was coming down really hard, they decided to take it nice and slow and keep distance between them and other cars.
Well, it was wet and real wet, not icy, and the visibility was very poor. And I went from Castle Pines out to Parker. I really watch for icy roads. You know, if I feel the car slipping, I just slow down.
And we talked to one driver, Consuelo Reyes, who made a pit stop in Castle Pines before traveling farther south to Alamosa. She said at some point just after 2 this afternoon, she had to get off the interstate entirely because of the snow.
I actually pulled off and took a nap for a little bit, and then I woke up and visibility was much better. So we're just gonna see how it goes.
and that's her plan for the rest of the afternoon as she makes her way further south. She's going to take it nice and slow and pull off when she needs to, because again, it really has been on and off again, and because of kind of just the inconsistency with the precipitation, we're not seeing too much accumulation in the low-lying areas and on the ground at this time, but we know it's a much different story up north, and we're going to continue keeping track of this wintry weather as we continue throughout the night. For now, reporting live in Castle Pines, I'm CB Cotton. I'm going to send things back over to you, Ann.
All right, CB, thank you. I like that nap concept, by the way. It's a good one. All right, thanks. Stay warm out there. Nothing like graduation day in the rain. Today, Evergreen High School students, staff, parents, and friends, oh boy, they endured the morning snow for graduation today at Red Rocks. And we caught up with one of the grads after the ceremony before he rushed inside to get warm.
I have a sweatshirt on underneath the nice jacket, and then I have a jacket on here. I have sweatpants on underneath my other long pants, so I've been staying pretty warm, wore gloves. It was really cold the whole time, but I was glad I was undercover, unlike the audience. They're all very cold, but now they're warming up in the car.
He knew what to do, right? By the way, Tyler's going on to CU where he will study architecture. 2 other graduations were supposed to happen at Red Rocks, and those were shifted inside. And one of those new venues, that's where we joined Denver 7's Russell Haythorne live. And Russell, at least most of the kids were just happy to walk the graduation stage, right? Regardless of the venue?
Yeah, that's right, Ann. Change of venue, that's the expression of the weekend. We've been experiencing a heavy wet snow all afternoon here in Broomfield. Certainly good moisture, but as we said, it is wreaking havoc on the events that were outdoors this weekend. Case in point, the sign right here covered in snow says, "Congrats grads." Boulder Valley School's having to move several outdoor graduation ceremonies indoors right now here at the First Bank Center. Centaurus High School is having its graduation ceremony. Earlier today it was Monarch High here, and then later tonight Peak to Peak, and the same is true throughout Metro Denver. Less than 24 hours after it nearly hit 90 degrees.
Come on in, get dry, get warm, you're welcome.
Mother Nature throwing Colorado a curveball.
I would say it's crazy, but it makes it interesting.
It's kind of in line with Colorado, in all honesty, snowing on graduation.
Events being canceled all across town this weekend, and a mad scramble to get many of them moved indoors.
They were like, be here at 12:30, and the doors were locked, and nobody knew what was going on.
Chatfield's graduation ceremony was supposed to be at Red Rocks. It's now at the Denver Coliseum.
I hate the fact that we had to move it from Red Rocks, but I love the fact that we had to move it from Red Rocks today.
We would have been miserable sitting for 3 hours at Red Rocks.
At least they have all the amenities. Well,
no beer.
Most of them.
Not surprised.
The class of 2022 certainly persevering through a lot in their high school years.
With COVID and whatnot, we really just have learned to adapt, and this is kind of the testament to it all.
We're honestly pretty lucky compared to the last couple classes we've had. I mean, we got prom this year. Graduating class of 2021 didn't have a prom.
Graduation, just another example of that resiliency and adaptability.
I guess this is just one more hurdle they got to get through to be on their own.
I graduated in Colorado in a snowstorm. I can say that my whole life now.
We are so proud of class of 2022. They certainly have an optimistic attitude about it all. Later tonight, again here at First Bank Center, it will be Peak to Peak High School celebrating its graduation. And then later tonight at 7 o'clock this evening over at the Denver Coliseum, Columbine has moved its graduation ceremony from Red Rocks there to the Coliseum. And then this weekend, Chassa having to move several high school championships as well. Lacrosse and track and field were scheduled for Friday, Saturday. They've shifted those to Sunday, Monday. We'll keep you posted on all of this as this storm moves through the metro area. For now, we're live here in Broomfield. And Brian, back to you guys.
Yeah, those big events, they must go on.
They sure do.
Thank you, Russell.
First look, it's raining, but we're gonna get it done. Here we go.
The Luke Combs concert still on for tomorrow night at Empower Field. Luke's been posting a bit about his adventures today, getting ready for the show on Instagram, saying he's never sound checked in the snow before. So listen, if you are going tomorrow night, just make sure that you bring plenty of layers.
And of course, lucky for those fans, but other concerts didn't get so lucky. One example, the Rector show at Mission Ballroom is now canceled. Despite Mission Ballroom being an indoor venue, Rector and his team are stuck in Wyoming due to the snow.
Huh.
And for the very latest on this May storm, visit our website, thedenverchannel.com.
You can also get the latest forecast for your neighborhood on the free Denver 7 Plus app. It is available to download right now on your streaming device.
All right, some local parents have reached out to Denver 7 concerned about a homeless encampment popping up near their children's elementary school. Denver 7's Patrick Perez spoke to some of those parents and joins us live now outside of Polaris Elementary School in 5 Points.
And Patrick, parents, they're now calling for action here.
Yeah, and let me show you why. Where I'm standing is where these students get dropped off and picked up. Across the street, several tents. A father of one of these students that we spoke with today tells us they moved in just the past week, and already the city is taking action. This is what Kieran Schweidel sees daily on his way to work near downtown Denver, tent after tent.
We're just starting to clean it up now.
It's no longer shocking to him, but seeing it across his son's school is.
Having to drop your kid off right across the street, you know, it's not comfortable.
Kieran says he first noticed the tents at the beginning of the week. We counted at least 3 of them stationed directly across an entrance to Polaris Elementary School, where his 7-year-old son attends the 2nd grade. In a video he took Thursday, there was even someone sleeping on the school lawn.
Why choose right here? And if you think you put it down, you look out, you're like, oh wait, there's a school. Maybe I should just pick my tent up and move 2 blocks.
Kieran expressed his concerns about the encampment's proximity to the school's administrators. They were already aware, he says, and had reached out to the city. That's when he learned the encampment had been given a 7-day notice.
Mental health and homelessness often go hand in hand. That's a chance that could be taken outside the city. I don't feel comfortable taking that chance right next to the school.
A community member who did not want to be identified was quick to point out not everyone feels the way Kieran does.
You're blowing this out as a person. I'm a community member. I just brought some food, warm clothes, and hand warmers for them. Okay. This is absolutely, please know that this is not how the community feels.
In a statement to Denver 7, Denver Public Schools says, while we are optimistic that the people here will be good neighbors, school officials have shared concerns about trash, drug paraphernalia, and human waste on a playground and sidewalks students use to get to and from the school. We are working with the community to address these issues. And those issues are being addressed as soon as next week. A spokesperson with Denver's Department of Transportation says a large-scale cleanup is scheduled for Tuesday.
I mean, it's a school. Like, that's all I'm talking about.
And in case you're wondering, we did ask the city, and there are hundreds of beds available in its shelter system to accommodate those choosing to camp here. Live in Denver, I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
We started doing some testing, and they said that he had kidney disease. And they then gave us the news that he would not live long enough to get a donor.
A retired Colorado teacher needed a kidney.
Now he's getting one from a very surprising donor.
I want to make sure that my community doesn't have to go through another loss.
And the Avs endure the walk through the snow in their Friday best.
The team heads to St. Louis, hoping to bring 2 playoff wins back to Colorado with them after last night's not-so-great Game 2.
Saad will take it and put Game 2 away.
We know we can play a lot better than that. So.
It's unfortunate, but it's 1-1. We get to go on the road and hopefully steal one there, hopefully 2,